right, welcome in. It is Thursday, October the 11th, and this is the Buddy Dill Show. So, some more baseball was going on last night, which was the main thing going on. We'll start with the first game yesterday afternoon. It was the Houston Astros at the Minnesota Twins. In a series that was tied 1-1 going back to Minnesota, you had to feel like the Twins thought they had a great opportunity here. And then Christian Javier just said no. The starting pitcher for the Astros went 5 innings, only gave up 1 hit, did not give up a single run, had 9 strikeouts, and he did have 5 walks, but he was able to get out of jams quite often. He earned the win, and the Astros were able to win 9-1. They used that momentum from how well he pitched, and the offense went behind him. The Twins' offense was never really able to get anything going. Jose Abreu had a great game for the Astros. He was 2 for 5 with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and he also had 2 walks. Yordan Alvarez continues his hot hitting as of in the playoffs. In only 3 games, he's hit 4 home runs now. He hit another one last night. He was 3 for 5 with a home run and 2 doubles as well. He's just hitting the ball. He's seeing the ball. It seems like he's looking at a watermelon whenever it's coming in. He's just seeing it really well. Alex Bregman also had a home run last night. He was 2 for 5 with a bomb and 2 RBIs. Sonny Gray, the starting pitcher for the Twins, did not have the day that he was hoping for. He only went 4 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 earned runs, so he had 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. He took the loss and now moved to 1-1 in the postseason. The problem with the Twins is not only did they give up a lot of runs early, not only were the Astros just seeing the ball well and hitting it, but they were not able to get runners in when they had opportunities. Like I said, Javier got himself into some jams, but always found his way out of it, thanks in part for the Twins being 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position last night. You're not going to get it done like that. You got to be able to come up with clutch and timely hitting, and they were not able to do that. So that game is going to go to a game 4 with the Astros leading 2-1. We'll get to that in just a second, right after we cover the game, the other game that happened last night, and that was the Orioles at the Rangers. Orioles had to win to survive. It was an elimination game for the Orioles. They were not able to do that. The Rangers jumped on the O's early and did not look back. They ended up winning this game 7-1. They win the series. They sweep the series 3-0, and this is the first time that they will advance to the ALCS since 2011. If you remember, that was the year that they had the Cardinals down to their final strike, and then the David Freese magic happened. That was that year against the Cardinals for the Rangers. It was the last time they made it to the World Series, last time they made it to the ALCS. That was their best opportunity to ever win a World Series since they have never won one. But this is a great team. This team is hot. I think that they're comfortably fine. They're comfortable playing either of the other 2 teams, whether it be the Astros or the Twins. I feel like they probably feel like they have a good opportunity. One of the reasons why is because their starting pitching has been so good. Nathan Eovaldi yesterday, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned, 7 strikeouts, not a single walk. He gets the win and moves to 2-0 in the postseason. He's done great this first 2 starts in the postseason. I saw a stat last night where him in games with opportunities to clinch has just been unreal in his career in the postseason. And you need guys like that who have been there in the postseason that know how to get it done. And he's one of those guys. A lot of coming back when he was with the Red Sox, when they went on their World Series run. Corey Seager played really well again. I told you on Sunday that he made MLB history for becoming the first player in MLB history to have 5 walks in a postseason game. Well, he added 2 more to that last night. He also had a home run and RBI. He's playing really well. Adolis Garcia was 2 for 4 with a home run. That was his second of the postseason. He also added 3 RBIs. And then Nate Lowe, he went 1 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. Baltimore, so Drew Kramer He was, I believe, pitching was not the most important thing on his mind yesterday. He was the starting pitcher for the Orioles. Said that with all of the attacks going on in Israel, he is actually from there. His family, he still has family behind in Israel, so he said that he was definitely thinking about them. So it'd be pretty hard to get in and pitch an elimination game with when your thoughts are with family who may or may not be safe, and it's understandable. But he went 1 2/3, gave up 7 hits, 6 earned, did not have record a strikeout, and he had a walk. So maybe that was one of the reasons why he struggled, but it is what it is, and the Orioles are now done. Gunnar Henderson, one of the young guys for the O's, had another good day. He was 3 for 4 with an RBI. This Orioles team is not going away. They're not going to make it this year. Maybe they needed the experience like they got this year, but they have a really young core with Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman. And Jackson Holliday will be probably up next year. And he's only 19 right now, but he's one of the best players in the minor leagues. He's the real deal. Their pitching staff's good. They did not have Felix Bautista this postseason, who has been their closer. He probably wouldn't have had to pitch much anyway, but he's been the real deal as well. They're not going anywhere. They will be back. They're going to be a fun team to watch. If you like young teams with a lot of energy, this is a team for you to watch next year. Unfortunately, they were not able to get it done this year, but it's not the end of the world. They'll be back. So going back to the other game, the other series in the ALDS, this is going to be game 4 tonight. Actually, it's going to be this afternoon. This game is at 1:07 p.m. Central Time. The game is going to be on FS1. Like I said earlier, this is game 4, and the Astros lead 2-1. The pitchers for tonight are going to be Jose Urquidy. He went 3-3 on the year with a 5.29 ERA. For the Twins, it's going to be Joe Ryan. He went 11-10 with a 4.51 ERA. This should be a good matchup. It's an elimination game for the Twins. They have to have it to force a Game 5 back in Houston. And also, you want to win your game at home. So this is their opportunity to do that. And the Astros are definitely ready to finish this and completely and move on and play the Texas Rangers. In the NLDS, there's also those games today. The Braves at the Phillies. This game is going to be at 4:07 p.m. Central Time on TBS. Series is now tied 1-1 after the late game heroics by the Braves, Austin Riley, Michael Harris, everybody. This is going to be an interesting one. This is the pitchers for the night. The Braves have not announced who they're going to pitch. I don't know what that means. There's a couple of options there. I don't know if that's a good thing that you don't know who you're pitching, but the Phillies are going with Aaron Nola. And Aaron Nola lit it up the other day on Wednesday against the Marlins. He is 1-0 in this postseason. He had pitched 7 innings, gave up only 3 hits, did not give up an earned run, had 3 strikeouts and a walk. So I feel like if you're the Phillies, you got to feel pretty good about this. If you're the Braves, you have to have one of those performances out of a starting pitcher that you're not really expecting them to have. But if you want to be able to compete in this series again after today, you're going to have one of those guys step up. So the other game is going to be the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. That game is going to be at 8:07 p.m. Central Time on TBS. The Diamondbacks have a chance to sweep tonight. This is not exactly what the Dodgers were expecting, but the Diamondbacks is kind of very similar to the Orioles. They're a young group, but they also have veterans on that team. So we'll see if the Diamondbacks are able to sweep. Pitchers for this game is honestly, it's a biased one for me. Lance Lynn, watched him pitch for a really long time. He's got what they say, that dog in him. There's no doubt about it. He's got traded to the Dodgers earlier this year. He's 13-11 on the year with a 5.73 ERA. He has not had quite the year that he had hoped for, but he's been in these big moments. He's pitched in the World Series with the Cardinals. He's been there, so he knows what it's like to be in an elimination game. And the Diamondbacks are going to go with Brandon Pfeiffer. He started against the Brewers on Tuesday. He only went 2 2/3, gave up 7 hits, 3 earned, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. So maybe this is an opportunity for the Dodgers to get right back in this series, but we will see. So I got some thoughts on something real quick, and it's going to be with the Major League Baseball. My thoughts are on the buys for the top 2 seeds in the playoffs. So, as we know, in the National League, the Braves and the Dodgers were the 1 and 2 seed. And in the AL, the Orioles and the Astros were the 1 and 2 seed. So, does the buy help when you get that? With nowadays, with it being a 3-game wild card series, the top 2 seeds have to sit for almost a week, actually a full week, pretty much. Does that help? Would you rather keep on playing? Would you rather not have to sit for a week? Because it seems like the teams that were able to play in the wild card are the ones that are doing much better. The Rangers played in the wild card; they did not have to sit for a week, and they swept the Orioles. The Phillies played in the wild card, played well, came in, and the Braves. The only reason why the Braves aren't down 0-2 right now is because of some great turnaround that they had at the very end of game 2. And then the Diamondbacks played in the wild card series, and the Dodgers had the time off, and now they're down 0-2. So the only team that's done okay is the Astros, but that team's loaded with veteran guys on their that's been in the playoffs. But even them, they've struggled to the point to where most times you would expect Houston would have won this series by now already, and they would have swept 3-0, but they haven't. The Twins are fighting hard. I just don't think that this is a good idea. I like the 3-game wild card series, but I don't like it at the price that comes, because these are the best teams in the league, and they've proven that they're the best teams in the league. Outside of maybe the Rangers. The Rangers were right there all year. They were right there and weren't able to come up as a 2 seed because on the last day of the season they got knocked out. But they are. It's interesting though, just because this is something I think Major League Baseball needs to look at, whether or not they should have the 3-game series if it affects their teams like this. Because if you have the best teams in the league, you want to see those best teams play. The Braves have been the best team, not just this year, but you can make an argument they're one of the best teams of all time. And now they're finding themselves going back to Philly in a situation where they have to win at least one of these games, which is going to be tough because Philly's playing well and at Philadelphia. It's going to be hard. But I think this is something the MLB needs to look at, but I don't think they will. They've made some rule changes this year, which actually have worked, so I'll give them a little bit of credit there. But I don't think anything's going to change there. I think there's more games. That means more money. That means more opportunity to watch on TV, which means, like I said, more money. So I don't see anything happening. So I think I don't know what the top seeds need to do to figure it out, but they need to figure something out. Also, the AL East this year in the playoffs, they went 0-7 combined. Not ideal. So there were some Tuesday night college football games on last night. I'm going to run through them really quick. Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State. Coastal Carolina was able to kick a game-winning field goal as time expired by Cade Hensley to win 27-24. 3-time Sun Belt Player of the Year Grayson McCall went 19 of 28 for 373 yards and 2 touchdowns for Coastal. After that, La Tech and Middle Tennessee State played. The game was close all the way. The game was closer than it actually was. The scoreboard shows closer than it actually was. Middle Tennessee State was able to win 31-23. Louisiana Tech had a late touchdown to make it that close. MTSU's Nicholas Vitato, he went 23 for 29, 248 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Last game of the night was Liberty at Jacksonville State. Liberty rolled in this one. They won 31-13. Caden Salter went 12 for 21 with 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Quinton Cooley had 28 carries for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it was a solid day for that running back from Liberty. There will be more college games on tonight. Not 100% sure which ones there will, but we will cover them tomorrow. In the NFL, there's been some big news here. So the Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson is going to the IR with a hamstring injury. That means that he will miss at least the next 4 games. Not ideal for a struggling Vikings team to lose their best player. Also, the Dolphins' Devon Achane is expected to miss multiple weeks with a knee injury. This is not ideal for them. I mean, they do have Raheem Mostert. They have other options, but he's been one of their best players. He's a young guy. He's been playing really well. The Cardinals' James Conner is going to the IR from a knee injury. That also means he's going to miss at least the next 4 games. And the Falcons trade for Van Jefferson with the Rams. The Falcons also receive a 2025 7th-round pick, and the Rams will get a 2025 5th-round pick. So that's going to be Van Jefferson is on the move to the Falcons. All right, so last week, Buddy's bets didn't go as well as I'd hoped. We had a great salvage right there with Wyoming beating Fresno State. That was huge for us. Colorado just missed it by a point, but we're back with some more bets this week. I feel a little bit better about these, but one of these is going to be quick. Got to get it in early. West Virginia at Houston. Old Dana Holgorsen. He's coached both of these schools, and he is ready to roll. I think Houston is going to cover the 3 points that they need and be able. I think Houston might actually win this game outright. This game is on Thursday, just to be a heads up. The BYU against TCU. I've got BYU plus 5.5. I think that they can do it. I think that TCU is struggling. I think BYU is also struggling. But I like BYU in this one. Florida at South Carolina. Florida has just come off of a pretty bad loss. South Carolina's just still not really figured everything out. But this is a big rivalry game for South Carolina. I think that they're going to pull this one out -2. Let's go to the Sun Belt. We got Marshall at Georgia State. I think that Georgia State is going to be able to win this one. They're favored by 1. I think they win by 2 at least. So let's go Georgia State. This is one of the bigger games of the weekend. USC at Notre Dame. You would think Notre Dame is going to be able to stop the run, stop the offense from USC, and USC can't stop anything, which is true. But I believe that USC needs to have this game. This is their opportunity to prove that they belong in the playoff contention. I think that they're getting points here, so I'm 100%. I'm gonna take the Trojans +3 and just roll with it. So here are my bets again. Got Houston +3, BYU +5.5, South Carolina -2, Georgia State -2. And USC +3. That's going to be just about do it for the day. Thank y'all for joining in again. We will be back tomorrow to get you ready to cover the baseball games tonight, get you ready for Thursday night football tomorrow night, and get you ready for the rest of the weekend. Thank you again for joining us. This has been the Buddy Dill Show, and we will see y'all tomorrow.